y'all, it's Kimberly here. Well, today I'm going to make a tuna casserole, and I have all the ingredients here in my shelf. I cleaned it halfway off. I'm getting there. Then let me flip you over and I'll show you all my ingredients. Okay, this is a tuna casserole I'm going to make. My mom used to make this all the time growing up, and I used to love it. But I think I'm going to add a few more ingredients. I mean, I can't quite remember how she made it, but I'll just kind of put it together the way I can kind of remember. I remember she used to top it with crushed potato chips, which made it so good. And I don't have any macaroni, but I have this rotini. I need to use it up. This is a 16-ounce bag. I'm going to cook all of it, and then I might take out a half a cup. I'm not sure, because this is quite a bit of pasta to put in there. So you can use really any kind of pasta, and this is an easy recipe. It looks like it's got a lot of ingredients, but it's super easy. You just mix them all together, pour it in a pan, and bake it. That's all you do. Well, you got to boil the noodles first too. And I have my pan set up here with water. I'm gonna get that, but let me go over all the ingredients first. So you got your noodles. You're gonna have to cook your noodles. And I'm going to use a 9 by 13 glass baking dish, and I'm going to butter that, or lightly coat it with oil or butter or whatever you have, and that just makes it a little bit easier for it to not stick. You don't really have to, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. You can, if you don't have butter or oil, it'll work fine. It makes cleanup a little easier, and it will make it less sticky. But it's not, super important that you have that. And these recipes I've been making first were super, super simple, easy things to do. And this is one of the baking recipes one of my first baking recipes that I'm going to do too. That is super, super easy to do. It doesn't take much time. It does have a lot of ingredients. It may look intimidating, but I tell you, somebody who's never cooked before, you can make this easy. So just boil your pasta. And I would boil it al dente, which is like where it's not super soft, but it's definitely not hard at all, because you're going to bake it for about 25 minutes in the oven anyway. So just boil your pasta till it's al dente, which is a little bit, it's not soft, but it's a little bit spongy, or whenever you bite it, it's soft enough you don't crack, you don't hear any crackle or anything like that. So that's what that means when somebody says al dente for their pasta. Okay, there's going to be onions. I'm going to cut up probably maybe about a 1/4 cup of onions. And this is my little onion holder. Whenever I cut that up, I'm going to put the rest of it in there. Probably about a cup of crushed potato chips. And it's not a definite amount. You just crush enough that you sprinkle on top as what you want, the way you would like it to be. Okay, it's a 10.5 ounce can of mushroom soup, one 10.5 ounce can of cream of chicken soup. But actually, if you only have cream of chicken or you only have mushroom, you should probably use 2 cans to make it creamy enough. And you're going to put a little bit of milk, probably about a half a cup of milk. And then I'm also going to, this may sound weird, but you can use sour cream and mayonnaise if you want. You don't have to add these in. But I have a little bit of this. I'm going to use probably about half of this. And then I don't have much left of this, but I'm going to use a little bit of that. Probably enough to make like maybe a 1/3 of a cup mixed together, or just a few tablespoons. And when you're cooking on something like a casserole, your measurements don't have to be exactly perfect, especially for additives like this. This is just for the flavor. Now, these cans of tuna, this is for the meat. That's for the kind of like the main part. It's a tuna casserole, so you need that in there. And they usually come in specific size cans, and these cans are 5-ounce cans, so I'm using 2 of these. And then the sweet peas, I'm not going to put a whole lot of peas because I'm not like a real pea person. I'll probably use about maybe 1/4 or 1/3 of this can, and then I'll freeze the rest of it to use for something else. And then again, I'm not sure if I said about a half a cup of milk. Like probably 1/3 to half a cup of milk. You're going to mix these things right here. These three things are going to make it kind of creamy along with the soup. So you'll have enough of the creaminess, but you need to mix in the pasta and the tuna for the main, I want to say the main two ingredients of it, for the weight of it. And then you got your onions, your peas for the vegetables, and then on the spices I'm going to use ground pepper, salt, whatever little bit is left in there. And I have these paprika. I got regular paprika and I have the Hungarian sweet paprika, so I'm going to use a little bit of these both, and then some garlic. Okay, let me prep this up and get the noodles boiling, and then I'll get back to y'all. Oh yeah, and I forgot this. One of the best parts of it is the cheese. You can put, this is cheddar and American, it's a mix. And I'm going to put about a cup of this mixed into it. And you can also put like Swiss or any other kind of cheese that you like, sharp or mild cheddar. But don't forget the cheese. Okay, y'all, I've got the pasta ready. It's just perfect. I just tasted it. I've got my soup, both my soup ready, my 2 cans of tuna, and tuna comes in either oil or water, but drain it out. Make sure it's drained. I put probably about half the can of peas, because I'm not like a real big pea person, I said. And then I didn't do too much onions. I don't like a whole lot of, I love onions, but in tuna casserole I don't like it to be too strong. And I'm fixing to crush up the potato chips, and I'm fixing to drain the pasta. I'm going to put it in my big bowl here. I'm fixing to get the milk and the cheese ready, and we're going to mix it all up, put it in a bowl, then put it in the pan. But I just wanted to show y'all something. I was trying to open the cans of tuna, and my can opener broke. So that's why I always say you should have extra of something. I've had this for probably about 10 or 15 years, and it just finally wore out and broke. But I have this. This is an extra heavy duty that I found this at the at a thrift store. It came in a bag of other kitchen stuff. I think I paid like $3.99 for the bag, and it had about probably $40 or $50 worth of items in there. So you can get some things. I bought this pan at a thrift store, the lid at a thrift store. I shop on a budget. You saw my 75-cent tag on my cheese. I found like 8 bags for 75 cents for cheese. And it's an American cheddar blend, which I usually don't like American cheese, but you know, when you're on a budget, you pick what you can. And okay, so let me get all this done. Let me get the mayonnaise, the sour cream, and the milk all put together, and the cheese, and then we'll start mixing it. So y'all, here is the pasta. I put in about 1 tablespoon of sour cream, maybe about almost 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise, and I actually decided to put about 1.5 cups of milk in it. Now I'm going to mix that around. Oops, sorry. I'm trying to do this with one hand. I'm going to add my peas. A few peas left in this. Oops, one fell on the floor. Now I'm going to add my little bit of onions that I have here. Got that done. And I'm going to add my tuna here. Well, I'm probably going to have to scoop these out, and I'll get back to y'all. Okay. Okay, so y'all, I've been holding my phone the wrong way the whole time in this video, but okay, so I got everything mixed in, and yes, I used a bowl, people. I used a bowl. I don't mix everything in the casserole pan. Just use a bowl. It takes 30 seconds to wash it. Okay, and I also buttered this thing with a butter wrapper. I saw this, it was like a little hack that I saw online, and to save your butter wrappers, and this thing completely buttered the whole pan, so it was a great tip. So now I'm going to add like a little cheese on top, just a little bit. I did add about a little over 1 cup of cheese in the mix, but I'm going to just kind of sprinkle a little bit on top. here. And then I crushed up, actually I think I may have too many potato chips, but I do like it covered with a lot of potato chips. That's probably about almost 2 cups. So I'm just going to put on what I think. I don't know if I'm going to use them all. I might. So, well, completely out of focus here. I'm in a rush today because my sister's fixing to come and pick me up, so I'm kind of not too coordinated today. Okay. Well, yeah, it looks like I'm going to use the whole thing. I like to get some on the sides if I can. I like to cover every little bit. Get this little corner right here. I remember my mom would let us crush up the potato chips. And that was fun every time she would make this recipe. So there it is, tuna casserole, 9x13 pan. And I forgot to tell y'all, preheat your oven. After you get through cooking the pasta, turn on your oven to preheat it. My oven is preheated, it's all hot, ready to go. I'm going to cook this at 350 for about 25, maybe 30 minutes. By the time my sister gets here, it'll probably be done. But you really are, the pasta's already cooked, the tuna has already, you know, it's in the can, ready to go. Everything that you put in here is basically ready to eat. But you're just warming it up. You're letting the milk and the cheese and everything kind of meld together. And you want to brown the potato chips and the cheese. I actually put like a little bit of cheese on the top here. Probably putting too much cheese. And I am lactose intolerant, but I don't care. I love my cheese. Well, that's not... It's not working very good, but I'm going to pop this in the oven, let it cook for 25 minutes, and check it, and I'll get back to y'all. Okay, y'all, I did speed this up a little bit. I put it up to 375 and took it out about 22 or 23 minutes because I'm in a hurry. And that's the beauty of tuna casserole. You can adjust this recipe a lot. And I did have some leftover pasta, quite a bit. Because I put about, I think about 3.5 cups. I can't remember if it's 3.5 or 4 cups of pasta in here. And that's quite a bit of pasta. But I made the whole bag of pasta. It was a large bag. And I'm going to use that later this week. I'm going to put something in it. Make some pasta salad or something with that. Actually, I have a recipe I think I might make with that. And there's a little bit of cheese that's brown. It looks perfect. Ooh, I can't wait to eat it. And I did mix the spices in. I think I forgot to tell y'all, I didn't put exact measurements. I just put probably like about almost a teaspoon of salt. And I like a lot of pepper, so I'll probably put at least 2 teaspoons of pepper in this because I like pepper a lot. So you can adjust that. You know, if there's something in a recipe that you don't like, that's the beauty of like casseroles and things like that. You can make your own combination. You want to leave something out, you know, like onions, leave it out. You know, like peas, leave them out. You want to add something, you think something would be good in it, add it in there. Actually, I was going to put some bacon in here, but I didn't cook the bacon this morning, so I didn't get the bacon put in there. But I have had tuna casserole with bacon in it, and it's so good. And also the spices, I put some garlic powder, maybe like about 1/2 teaspoon. Not too much garlic. I didn't want it to be too garlicky. And you could actually put minced garlic in there if you want. But I didn't have any of that. And then I put the paprika. I put the regular paprika, and then I had that Hungarian smoked paprika. And I put maybe 1/2 teaspoon of each in there. And I mixed all that up in there. And this is the result. And I can't wait to eat this. Okay. Y'all have a good day.